What if everything you have been through, every setback, every season of struggle, every door that closed in your face, every moment you sat alone wondering if you were really built for this, was never meant to break you? What if it was actually preparing you? What if the business idea sitting in the back of your mind, the calling you keep telling yourself you will pursue one day, and the freedom you have been dreaming about for years was never out of reach? What if you were just missing the right community, the right guidance, and the right foundation to build it on? That is exactly why Fit for Millions exists. And today I want to introduce you to who we are, who we serve, and why this channel, this movement was built specifically for you. My name is Jasmine LeSanker, founder of Fit for Millions. And before I tell you about this brand, I need to tell you about the woman behind it, because Fit for Millions was not born in a boardroom. It was not born in a moment of success or celebration. It was born in the middle of one of the hardest seasons of my life. I started this journey as a single mother, the sole provider for my child, navigating an unfamiliar career path with no blueprint and no guarantee that any of it would work. I had a professional dance background, so discipline and the pursuit of excellence were already in my DNA. But entrepreneurship, leading at the highest level, building something that outlasts a paycheck, that required a completely different kind of development. And God sent the people, the experiences, and yes, even the painful seasons to build it in me. Then during my last year in a leadership position at a luxury brand company, my entire world stopped. I was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer. I was only a few months away from my wedding day. I felt great. I looked great. And that is exactly what makes cancer so terrifying. It is a silent killer. Mine had already spread to my lymph nodes, and we had to move quickly. Several rounds of chemotherapy, surgery, and radiation later, I am standing here today because God brought me through. And in that season of slowing down, of sitting with God in the quiet, in the stillness, in the waiting, I finally heard what He had been trying to say all along. The calling and the purpose that had always lived on the inside of me became clear. All the noise and distraction of life had kept me in a fog. But in that hospital room, in that recovery season, in those early morning moments with just me and the Lord, I finally heard Him. Isaiah 40:31 says, "But those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint." That scripture became my lifeline. And what felt like the worst season of my life became the birthplace of my greatest purpose. Like the woman with the issue of blood in Mark 5, who pressed through the crowd, who refused to let her condition be her conclusion, who said to herself, "If I just touch His clothing, I will be healed." I pressed through. And just like Jesus stopped for her, He stopped for me. He will stop for you too. Over 20 plus years, I have worked across industries, led teams, run companies, and sat in rooms that once felt impossible to access. I have been the overlooked employee, the leader delivering the hard conversation, and the entrepreneur who had to bet on herself when nobody else would. And through every single layer of that journey, God was building something bigger than a career. He was building a calling. Jeremiah 1:5 says, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart." Your purpose was never an accident, and neither is the journey that brought you here today. Fit for Millions was started because I kept watching the same heartbreaking story play out over and over again. Brilliant women, gifted leaders, anointed entrepreneurs, sitting on businesses they were too afraid to launch, stuck in jobs that had long stopped serving them, leading teams without the tools they needed, building in complete isolation without a community that truly understood what it means to be a woman of faith navigating the real world of business. Women who had every gift, every vision, and every ounce of work ethic, but were missing the framework to bring it all together without losing their peace, their purpose, or their family in the process. I knew exactly what it felt like to be that woman. And I knew that if God walked me through cancer, through single motherhood, through every season of being overlooked and underpaid and underestimated, and still brought me out on the other side with wisdom, strategy, and a thriving business, then my story was never just for me. It was for her. It was for you. Proverbs 31:25 says, "She is clothed with strength and dignity, and she laughs without fear of the future." That is the woman Fit for Millions was built to develop: strong, dignified, fearless, and fully equipped to build exactly what God placed in her heart. Habakkuk 2:2 says, "Write the vision and make it plain." We help women do exactly that. Take what God placed inside them and build it into something tangible, sustainable, and generationally impactful. So, who does Fit for Millions serve? We serve business owners who are ready to scale with strategy and soul, CEOs and founders who want to lead with integrity and build cultures that last, Christian leaders navigating the real world challenges of running a ministry or organization with kingdom values, aspiring entrepreneurs who have a calling and need the tools, the community, and the courage to finally act on it. And at the core, we serve women of faith who are done settling and ready to build something that produces purpose, peace, profit, and freedom, all at the same time. Those four pillars are not just words. They are the foundation of everything we teach, everything we coach, and everything we create on this channel. Because a business without purpose is just a job with more risk. A business without peace will consume you. A business without profit is a hobby. And a business without freedom defeats the entire point of building it in the first place. Deuteronomy 8:18 reminds us, it is God who gives you the ability to produce wealth, not a corporation, not a boss, not a system, God. And he gave you gifts, skills, and a story that are designed to produce on your terms for his glory. We have helped women go from laid off to launching thriving companies, from overlooked employees to 6- and 7-figure entrepreneurs, from burned out leaders to CEOs operating fully in their calling, with more time for their families and more alignment with their God-given purpose than they ever experienced in corporate America. Not because we have a magic formula, but because we combine real-world business strategy with biblical principles that have stood the test of thousands of years inside a community of women who are genuinely invested in each other's growth. Ecclesiastes 4:9 says, "Two are better than one because they have a good return for their labor." You were never meant to build alone. And at Fit for Millions, you never have to. If you found this channel today, do not believe that it was an accident. Maybe you are a leader struggling with your team and you need tools that actually work. Maybe you are an early stage entrepreneur who needs direction and community. Maybe you are sitting in a job you have completely outgrown and you are finally ready to make the move. Or maybe you have built something successful on the outside, but something on the inside still feels deeply misaligned. Wherever you are, Fit for Millions was built for this exact moment in your journey. Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." God's plan for your life, your business, and your legacy is bigger than anything fear has tried to convince you to settle for. Romans 8:28 promises that all things work together for good to those who love God and are called according to his purpose. That includes every hard season, every closed door, every painful detour. It was all working together for this moment. You are not too late. You are not too small. You are not too far behind. You are exactly where God needs you to be right on the edge of everything He has been preparing you for. So here is what I need you to do right now. Hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications because every single week we drop content designed to help you build with purpose, lead with integrity, and scale with strategy rooted in biblical truth. This is not just a YouTube channel. This is a community, and we want you in it. Drop a comment below and tell me what brought you here today. What are you building? What are you believing in God for your business or your life? I read every single comment and I genuinely want to know your story. And if you are ready to go deeper, if you are ready to work directly with our team and build the business or the leadership foundation God has been calling you toward, the link to connect with Fit for Millions is in the description below. Let's build together. You were never meant to just survive. You were created to build something that lasts, something that serves, and something that sets generations free. Welcome to Fit for Millions. We have been waiting for you. We love you. God bless you and your business. Now let's go build the life God designed for you to have.